The wines are fantastic.
They make amazing wine here.
There's a ton of great winemakers out here, lots of great wine.
It's the best wine here.
I think the world class.
I think that we see, obviously, Rhone style varietals absolutely shining here, just through the roof.
It is sunlight in a bottle. There's no better way to put it.
You are at Rhone Robles Winery for the 2011 Paso Robles Rhone Rangers Experience.
Rhone Robles started making wines about 10 years ago.
This is the real big signature event of the Paso Robles chapter of the Rhone Rangers.
The Rhone movement has really taken shape and found its voice here.
Okay, it's good. We're good to go.
In 2007 was my first attempt at making a rosé, and it was a total failure. And I swore I'd never try to make one again. And strangely enough, even though that wine to me was a total failure and embarrassment, it's still the highest scoring wine that we ever got from Wine Spectator at Calcareous. It's a beautifully balanced, dry rosé from Paso Robles. What the?
I love wine. I'm here to, Syrah, Grenache, Mevad.
Certainly Syrah.
Grenache is really my favorite on the Rhone varietals.
I probably like Syrah.
I'm a Syrah guy.
Syrah.
I'm a big Syrah fan. This is a region that's really becoming known for it, and this is an opportunity for the wineries to really show off their Syrahs. That's what I'm really looking forward to try.
I got a job for Gary Eberly. I was his winemaker for 7 years. And in the interview with his, at that time, marketing manager, Matt, he said, "Hey, Bill, what do you think of Viognier?" I said, "Yeah, it's great. You think you can make it?" I said, "No problem." After the interview, I went home and opened up the Chances Robbins book, and I went, "Oh, shit, it's a white wine."
If you get a chance, this is the first time we've been to a seminar with the Rhone Rangers. You should definitely try to come here because you have 8 or 10 winemakers helping us educate. And while we think of ourselves as pretty experienced wine drinkers, we learned a lot today.
Here, you get to talk to the winemakers. You get to sense the passion they have for their wines. They're just really nice people, and it's really, really fun. And we, as consumers, we get to taste the fruits of their labors, and it's wonderful.
If you are going to get into the wine business up here, you need to learn about the Rhone varietals, because
I think that there's a lot of strength here in Paso right now.
I'd say the Rhone varietals, certainly with the Rhone Rangers here, there are wineries here that could stand up.
It's world-class wine, absolutely.
I think it's standing up fantastic. This place is blowing up.
People are starting to figure out what a great place Paso Robles is.
It's absolutely world-class Syrah.
Napa for cabs, Paso for Rhones.
I've been to Napa and Sonoma a lot, and I like this area a lot more. It's not as pretentious.
There's a typographical error on the auction lot that we have there today. It's 20,008. That vintage won't be ready today, so.
I'm Chef Jeffrey Scott, and I cooked the meal today that everybody ate for lunch. We did a miso glazed Berkshire pork loin with Rhone-style wines. It's a beautiful pairing. And yes, it's a little bit different than what you're going to see in the Northern Rhone, but it's every bit as classy a wine, that's for sure.
We got a situation where we're from Paso Robles, again, an emerging, somewhat unknown region, and we are creating Rhone-style wines, which is, again, somewhat unknown, at least in American consumers' mind. Rhone Rangers really gives us a chance to focus on that.
I think stylistically, people just don't know enough about Rhone wines, especially from our area, where they're really approachable. We just had a seminar inside, and every single wine was from 2008, and everything was tasting great. There's no need for 10 years in bottle before it tastes good. They're food-friendly. These are wines that are approachable right now.
Rhone wines, more than any other California category, are about pleasure. They really show a lot of charm and a lot of forward, generous fruit.
Would you consider doing any blending sort of things with people when they're in front of you?
There's something about sitting at the bar on a rainy day with all those half bottles in front of me, just relaxing and doing it myself.
I think what you're seeing in Paso Robles now is you're seeing a lot more talent coming into the community as far as winemaking goes. You're seeing a lot more people spend the time in the vineyards, planting the right vineyards in the right areas, the right varietals, and I think that's been one of the biggest movements.
They're technically much better wines than they've ever been before. They're more fruit forward, they're more ample, they're richer, they're more structured.
There's also an influx of money coming into the area as investors look at this area as a up-and-coming wine region. New technology, new wineries are built, new vineyards are put in, and I think those are all things that build and improve upon the appellation.
Heart of glass. Right. Heart of glass. Can you explain the heart of glass? The blend of?
I sure can. It is a Grenache-based Rhone blend. It's a GSM, if you will.
In respects to what Justin Smith has done for the area is huge.
Obviously, we're talking about Justin Smith and his Saxon wine that got 100 points. And I think when you put the time and effort into the right vineyards, the right grapes, do the right winemaking, I think you have the potential to produce a wine like that at 100 points.
I think it validates that we're on to something. I think when Saxum gets their huge score this year, I think that's really showing what's coming out of our area.
It's very cool because people who never heard of Paso Robles, now they heard of Paso Robles.
Justin Smith's recent award, I think it's a huge impact for us.
I think Paso is well overdue for something like that.
It validates that Paso's just in the tip of the iceberg.
In our tasting room, we've seen a considerable pickup and a lot more interest coming from wine spectator-oriented people over the last month or so.
It's the beginning of a really, really cool thing over the next 10 years.
And we're still definitely on that, you know, that sort of that cusp of people knowing the region. So it's awesome.
I don't think many people realize, you know, that a Rhone wine being first place or the wine of the year for Wine Spectator is a big deal, let alone being from Paso Robles, which is a region that is not well known at all for various reasons.
Well, you don't think people pay that much attention. Winning something like being the #1 wine for the Wine Spectator really does get your brand, get your location, get your area visible to a large number of people.
To have somebody showcase their Rhone variety and have it become the #1 wine in the world shows what we can do in this area and what the potential of this really, really young area is.
What we're trying to do in Paso is expose the world stage to our wines, and things like a 100-point wine coming from Justin only further benefits what we're doing here in Paso and gets us out on that world stage and gets the recognition that you know, Paso deserves and we'll continue to get as more people discover our wines.